You guys, my gloves don't fit. I brought gloves and they don't fit. They're too small, and now we gotta wear gloves in the race. My gloves are so small, they make my hands go like this.
How did we end up in this situation?
I thought we weren't gonna have to wear gloves. I thought they were kidding. It can possibly be kidding. And now I'm like so screwed because my gloves don't fit.
So your options are women's small and men's medium.
Yeah, Eric has men's mediums I could wear. But I don't want them to feel too big, you know? But I think people are going to have, like, potentially big gloves that are like paddles. And here I am with, like, my little baby gloves that, like, decrease my hand size effectively. They literally make my hands smaller. We should ask Paula.
Yeah.
Wonder if these gloves work with phones. Nope.
You say you wanna be a star, but the city is so dense and loaded. You need to cover up your scars.
We're going fast.
And it
30.
makes you feel so distant with such a disguise. Why don't you leave it all behind and come back home? I'll make some sweets and tea, just like it used to be. You say you had to take the chance, even though you got arrested and wasted. It's been so long since you've been calm, but you don't need any gestures or favors from anyone, baby. Why don't you leave it all behind and come back home? I'll make some sweets and tea, just like it used to be.
They kind of like saw Katie and Gwen having like the same level of results,
Yeah.
and they didn't want to pick between both of them.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, we can go check it out if you want. We're gonna run right by it anyway.
Tomorrow? On Saturday, yeah. And next Sunday?
Okay, I'm doing my 30-second thing.
Okay.
But we're gonna run all the way back to you, so I'll probably leapfrog you.
Yeah. A bit dumb wearing this.
Why?
Do you think it's funny or no?
I got you this.
Oh wow, thank you.
I think it's cool.
Okay, you have to come with me then. I can't wear this alone.
Tracker, abrasion device.
No, whoever.
He's taking it through.
3/4, so
I just need more chest. There we go. That, yep, a bit more round away from me.
tiny bit away. That's it.
You're here in San Francisco.
I've done this race a few times, so it's not my first time here. And we actually drive through San Francisco a lot when we go to LA for training camp, so we've been here a lot, yeah. But it's kind of crazy to race here. Feels just like such a compact, big city.
What's your favorite part about like racing in San Francisco, since you've done it a few times?
It's a really hilly course, I've heard, so I'm excited for that. San Francisco's kind of known for being hilly, right?
A little bit.
Yeah, it's a lot of elevation gain, but I do really like the steep, punchy climbs. That's kind of my favorite type of course.
But you don't like the swim.
Does anyone like the swim that you've talked to?
Is it a shock to jump off the boat and into the water? Like,
yeah, the thing I remember about it was I haven't done it since 2017 because I think 2018 when I was here the swim got canceled. But you build it up and you dread it and it sounds horrible and then you do it and it's not that bad. It's just you're in race mode and the adrenaline takes over and you don't even think about the cold. And I just remember trying to like get to shore and trying to sight. It's kind of like a whirlwind and then suddenly you're on shore and it's all over. So I'm not super stressed about it, but I think it's definitely one of the aspects that people are the most worried about. But we know for sure it'll be cold, so that's one thing guaranteed.
Yeah, that doesn't change even with the nice sunny weather.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, hopefully no sharks, but it's a possibility.
You swim so fast.
Yeah, faster than the sharks. Okay, so heading into this race, I was a little bit nervous about it for the whole month leading in because it's not really a course that suits me. I would never choose to do Alcatraz if it wasn't a T100 race. The nice thing about it is it's like a 90-minute flight. It's really easy to get to. I'm really familiar with San Francisco and therefore the stress was pretty low and we're so well taken care of at these races by the mechanics and just everything is really organized. So that really lowers the logistical stress of racing and Eric was there too with me, so that was really nice. For some reason the early wake up made me less nervous because you don't really have time to process what's going on. It's like you wake up and you just get into the process mode of what do I have to do to get ready to go, and there was a long time to spend on the boat before the women dove in the water. So yeah, everyone was kind of in a good mood and we were all in this together, and I think racing all these women so often creates a nice camaraderie between everybody, and a lot of them are good friends now. So I was actually fairly calm before the start and not as nervous as I had been as I'd been imagining this race for the last 4 weeks. Yeah, we got word that the men finished the swim in like 14 minutes, so half the time it normally takes to do these things, and we were jumping into this crazy current, it turns out. So the bay has water rushing out of it under the bridge, and we got dropped off in a spot where we were basically carried to shore, and they tried to move the boat a little bit further out for the women because we started after, but it wasn't really a noticeable change. As much as I was kind of dreading the swim, I actually need the swim to string out the field a little bit. I had a great swim. I was on Taylor Nibb's feet, and I knew it was her because of her blue cap, so I was really happy with where I was positioned in the water, but I knew that with that current, everyone was probably pretty close to us. So good sign for my swim though, just that I could remain calm and get into good position and just stay calm through all of the choppiness because it was quite rough. And then when I got to shore, it was almost like I was so relieved that I didn't get into like attack mode soon enough, and I should have maybe ran that 800 meters to transition quicker to get with the people I came out with, but lost a bit of ground there. And I think in races like this, you just can't let anything slip. Every second matters. especially in transitions. And so yeah, I kind of lost touch with like Kat and Laura and the people that ended up riding a little bit in front of me. So that was unfortunate, and I was confident I could probably pull them back on the hills, but what I didn't really consider is the descending was really technical on this course, combined with wet roads, crazy winds, just all the things that make me nervous on the bike compounded into one thing. And I could see I was gaining on people on the climbs, and then I'd immediately lose them on the descents. So that's really where my race went sideways, is the technical parts. And because of all the out and backs, I knew exactly where I was at all times relative to other people and could see if I was gaining time or losing time. So I think psychologically that kind of like broke me down a bit when I could see that I was losing time to the front. And that's not something I'm super used to. I'm used to kind of putting in time on the bike. Taylor Knibb aside, she was just in her own race. But yeah, I tried to just get to the finish. It was an extremely hard bike course. It took a long time because we were quite slow on the uphills, and yeah, I was not in a great headspace. Just kind of wanted it to be over. I was not in race mode. I was just in survival mode. But get to the run, and I actually felt totally fine on the run. It was mostly on gravel, which I really love. I do a lot of training on gravel, so that kind of running and the little foot slips are really familiar to me, so I felt like I could run well and build throughout the run. And although I had moments of mental cracking where I thought everything was the worst thing ever, I was able to come back from those moments and just race a little bit and hold off Ashley and repass India Lee. And I don't know, I was far back from the win, but I was racing around people who've won the last two races. So these races are so competitive, and I think the diversity in courses suits different people to the point where you see some people winning and sometimes they're coming 8th, and it just is going to change throughout the year, which makes the series exciting, but also makes it very unpredictable and hard to perform at the top at every single race. So I had an okay result. I mean, 6th does not sound good, but when you consider the field, it was actually fine, and got to the end feeling, I don't know, just like a little bit sad and confused, and like these things have such a big emotional toll in the build-up that when you finish, it's almost just like you can release all of your emotions, and that's what happened to me. So I was not happy with the race, but I was, I guess, relieved to have it done. And just, you question all your life choices after races too. Now it's like, do I want to keep doing this? That was not fun at all. But after like 24 hours, you can kind of come back around and be more realistic about your thoughts, and it was totally fine. I got on a plane the next day, I was home by noon, and as soon as you get back home, it's like it never happened. You're back into real life, and things resume as normal. So yeah, that was all.
Nice job, you did it, you did it. I love you.
Yeah, I guess my main takeaways from this race would be that the build-up and the hype is not worth stressing over, because they're all the same. And yeah, they're competitive, and it's a lot, and it's stressful, and it's nerve-wracking, but once you dive in the water, like, all these races are very similar, and I know how to do them. I've done a lot of them now, so that's one thing, but also just reinforced how bad I am at technical descents, and that's something that I knew and I probably should have worked on more, but I don't know. It was, I know my power is good, and I'm strong on the bike, and I can ride really well on courses that I know and ones that are challenging but not technical, but this one was just a little bit too technical for my comfort levels. And I think if it hadn't been like a crazy windy day and the roads were dry, I would have handled it a lot better. But with the crosswinds on that swooping descent blowing you over, I just got so nervous, and I was like on the brakes, which you really should not be on the brakes at all in this race. You should just be riding the downhills. So yeah, that was kind of unfortunate. And I knew it in the moment, and I was like, just be braver and do it, but it's way easier said than done, and you gotta have confidence in yourself and your equipment. And I have confidence in my equipment, but I don't have confidence in myself. So that's what made the descents really rough. Yeah, what's next is I'm going to the Canadian Cycling Championships in Quebec to do the time trial. I've won it the last 2 years, so I'm gonna try to win it again. A lot of people are asking if that would be a qualifier for Paris, and it will not be. Canada's putting, I guess, their focus on the road team, and unlike the U.S., they're taking Taylor Knibb and Chloe Dygert. We have Allison Jackson, who's really good on the road and a medal hope for Canada in that discipline. So they're gonna take a team that's focused around her, which is completely fair and understandable. And I'm going to the TT because I love it and I like the challenge and I'm good at it. And if it gives me another opportunity to go to the World Championships again, I would do that. But mostly it's just a personal goal of mine to go and win that again. And then I'm gonna race 70.3 Mont Tremblant 2 days later, which is 4-hour drive away. Kind of an ambitious double, but I think doable. Cycling, the race is really hard, but it's only about 40 minutes and doesn't leave you really sore or anything. So I'm hoping with some recovery in the day between, I can still have a good race in Tremblant, which ended up being a crazy field, which I was not expecting, but it'll be a competitive race and I'll just do my best.
That's it. Good job. Could you see Flynn the whole time? He loves his friend here.
I know I tried lots and lots of times.
Was that enough?
But maybe it's fine that you are so hard to find.